All right. Well, good day. My name is Berkenda. I'm the Vice President of Member Engagement and Operations here at OmniAir Consortium. For those of you who are new to our story, OmniAir Consortium is the leading industry association promoting interoperability and certification for ITS, tolling, and connected vehicles. This session is intended to provide quick insight to our upcoming annual Plugfest testing event and the workshop. First, you'll hear from Jason Conley, OmniAir's Executive Director. Jason, if you could join me here on screen, please. Good
Hello,
morning,
good
Jason. How are
afternoon.
you? Or good
I'm doing
afternoon, I should
great. How are
say.
you?
Good. As you can see, I've got some previous OmniAir swag here today, so really excited
Fantastic,
for this.
fantastic.
All right,
Well,
well, I'm going to turn it over to you.
thank you very much. Thank you, Burkinda. Thank you to everyone for joining us. I'm Jason Conley, Executive Director of OmniAir Consortium. I am sitting here in the DMV area, District, Maryland, Virginia region. It's a scorching 95 degrees, but I understand the week of June 1st, it is going to be beautiful here. So we're looking forward to seeing many of you at our OmniAir Maryland Plugfest coming up in Baltimore. That is our 18th OmniAir Plugfest, where we bring together our members from around the world, device manufacturers, test equipment providers, test laboratories, leading research institutions for a week of testing. And you'll hear today from each of the participating test stations. These are labs and test equipment providers, engineering firms, and government agencies that are helping us with make Plugfest possible. Our goal is to ensure that we have devices that conform to industry standards and are interoperable and secure and ready for deployment. And Plugfest is an integral part of that. For those of you who are not familiar with OmniAir, I'll just give you a very quick overview. Next slide, please. We are the leading industry association promoting interoperability and certification for ITS tolling and connected vehicles. We have a very broad membership base that includes public and private sector, beginning with OEMs to tier one suppliers, applications and service providers, test equipment providers, test labs, and telecommunications carriers. So very excited to bring all of those together for this week of intense testing, as well as some technical learning sessions. And I'll talk a little bit about what all is happening for the week before I turn it over to Shaquille and our technical team, who will then introduce our test station providers. Next, please. So this week includes three big events. One will be our CAV workshop on June 2nd. On June 3rd, and that is a full day conference, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. On June 3rd, we're having our first student hackathon. This is a new thing for OmniAir, but we'll have teams of students from four major universities participating in that. We'll have some award ceremonies there. We'll have testing throughout the week, as well as technical deep dives and demonstrations. So a lot of things packed into one week. We're so excited to partner also with Johns Hopkins University, who's hosting us at their Mount Washington campus in Baltimore, as well as the Maryland Transportation Authority and the Maryland CAV Working Group. So if you are part of those organizations, thank you so much for your partnership. Next, please. So you can see here, these are the various companies and organizations that are participating in Plugfest, working together to make this a success. Some of these are providing testing equipment and testing solutions. Others are doing demos. Others are engaged in testing. And you can see we have everybody from the U.S. Army to Federal Highways, Saxton Labs, National Institute Standards and Technologies, and Johns Hopkins, and organizations from around the world. It's going to be a great event. Next, please. So one of the hallmarks of Plugfest is our technical learning sessions. So we have set up two technical learning sessions each day, at least two. Starting on Monday, we'll have a demonstration of the IEEE 5G Innovation Testbed. We're going to hear about from Keysight about the Wave Touch updates on tolling. We'll hear from Vector about their test tool, OmniTrust about SCMS, demonstrations from Noblis and Leidos on misbehavior detection, and several presentations on what's next in testing coming from Federal Highways. Really excited. And if you have the opportunity, please make sure that you attend those sessions. Next, please. So in conjunction with Plugfest, we're doing a one-day workshop. We're inviting in the stakeholder community, many government officials, um, uh, local government officials, academicians, practitioners, especially from this region, are all going to be gathering for our workshop and hackathon. Workshop starts on June 2nd. We have a full day, and I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek of what you'll see if you come there. Next, please. So we'll have a keynote presentation from Michael Rocket Halem. He is the Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary for Research and Technology at the U.S. Department of Transportation. So all of those R&D programs fall under his purview. We'll have some opening remarks from the Dean of the School of Engineering at Johns Hopkins, the Administrator for the Motor Vehicle Administration in Maryland, COO for the Maryland Transportation Authority, which is the tolling authority for Maryland. We'll also have some unique remarks from Sudhakar from USDOT ITS Joint Program Office, Justin Anderson, Tony DeBurra, who leads the S4 Lab and the Institute for Assured Autonomy, Trish Hendren from Eastern Transportation Coalition, David Sequino from OmniTrust, Jason John Michael from the Haas COE, Highly Automated Safety Systems Center of Excellence at USDOT, and many others. You can see really bringing some big stars for this event. We're packing that into one day. One thing I would highlight is that if you are attending and you are required for your engineering license to have continuing education, we have been accredited now for 6 hours of continuing education. If you attend this, we are getting our PDH hours through ITS Maryland. We appreciate them doing that for us. Next, please. So this is a broad set of panels that we're going to have. We're going to be looking into standards and testing and what's new in certification with Eugene Song and Vince Park and many others. We'll have some fireside chats on AI and digital assurance, cybersecurity, addressing risk in automation, which will be a very, very interesting one. Deployments, what's happening in the deployment world, then I'm going to be leading a fireside chat on how do we pay for all this? What is the future of transportation technology funding, especially with the new highway bill coming out. So it should be a great event. And afterwards, we'll have a networking reception as well as some demonstrations. I think we have a little thing on our demos here. Next, please. So we're going to be doing some demos all day long on Tuesday, June 2nd, and we'll have a concentrated time immediately after the workshop. We'll do some outdoor demos. OmniTrust Raven Connect will be showing some network V2X use cases. U.S. Army will be talking about some of their really interesting testing using digital twins. CAPS and Indra will do different flavors of V2X tolling. Morgan State University doing work zone safety messages, Federal Highway Administration, Johns Hopkins University of Maryland, and Prince George's County will round it out. And so we're so excited to bring these live demos. So we encourage you to go interact with both the tabletop demos and the outdoor demos throughout the day. And if you have any questions about this, just reach out to us. Next, please. And I think the most exciting part of this week, it will be our student hackathon. We really want to try to highlight the great work that's being done by the next generation of practitioners in V2X and cybersecurity. We've recruited student teams from 4 universities, Johns Hopkins University, Morgan State University, University of Windsor in Ontario, and University of Maryland at College Park. They have all been working for the past month or so on projects triggering V2X misbehavior detection and looking for solutions. We'll have a panel of judges who will be awarding a winner based on the student presentations that will take place on the morning of June 3rd. And we have a real rock star, Angela Foster, CBS News reporter, who will MC the hackathon. Hope you're able to join us for that. Next, please. And finally, encourage you to register as soon as you can. I know that Brikend is always trying to get that headcount in as quickly as we can. We have dropped the price dramatically for this event, just recognizing the many local attendees that we'll have. So it's 75 for government or academia, 150 for private sector, and that is the individual non-testing ticket. So we tried to make it very affordable. Click on the QR code there to go to our Eventbrite. You'll add a little tiny Eventbrite fee on top of that, but go ahead and register. Seating is limited, and it will take care of your PDH requirements. So all kinds of great things. With that, I think that's my final slide. I'm going to turn it back over to Prakenda to introduce our next speakers. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you in Baltimore.
Thank you so much, Jason. All right, let's get out of here. What we have for you next is the most exciting part. So if I can have Shaquille Zafar join us right now. Shaquille is our technology director, and he's going to be hosting you all for the remainder of the program to introduce all of our test stations. Thank you so much, Shaquille, for joining us.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let me share my screen first. Okay. Yeah, you guys can see my screen. Let me switch over to presentation mode. Okay, you guys can see my screen. Welcome.
Yes, you're good. Thanks.
Okay. Well, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Brooke, good afternoon. Welcome to our test station overview. Good timing just before the Plugfest. So we will be listening to all the test station vendors about their testing capabilities during this meeting. The slide I'm showing right now, it's showing you the sequence of presentations from each vendor. We will start with Leidos, and we will end with TTA. TTA is not available for live presentation, so they have sent me a presentation video, which I will play at the end. And if there are any technical issues, I think there's an issue with the sound, then we may have to just cut it short. So let's get started. Next up is Leidos. Mohammed, if you are ready, you can start. And let me know when to move the slides.
Yeah, hi. This is Mohammed Hafiz. I'm with Leidos. I'm part of the team supporting the Saxton lab in FHWA. You can move for the next slide. So
Okay.
during the Plugfest, we will be having multiple demos and test stations. The first off would be the misbehavior detection and reporting test tool. So we are aiming to show a demo on how to generate the misbehavior trigger for devices to detect and report to the SMS providers, and we will show some demo on how the TMS providers are able to receive the reports and to verify them. We encourage everyone attending to come see the demo, and if you feel that your device has already implemented some misbehavior detection features, we can try to test with it and see if it's gonna be working. Next slide. The next demo we're having is our CDA 110's demo, which is small scale. Sorry.
I think there was a background noise. You can go ahead.
No, this is our small scale CV2X deployment, which helps with the learning and training for different agencies and universities. And it shows also some of our tools that we developed in-house that can also help with more exposure for the CV2X community and technologies to anyone trying to have an entry or testing into the field. Next one. Yeah, this is the set of the tools that we developed in-house in Saxton Lab. We have a wide variety of tools from message creation and validation into test and training equipment, the cave in the box, which have both infrastructure side and a mobile side, which you can loan and either train your employees or do some testing on the field or on a bench. And also we have a wide variety of software tools like V2X Hub, which can support a lot of functionalities on the infrastructure side and help in learning and in training and deployment testing. Next. So for our main test station with the V2X Hub and the cave in the box, we'll be doing some message J2735 message verification. So we'll be testing with all the RSU and OBU vendors to verify the transmission and reception of the different messages from the standard. And we encourage everyone to come and see to make sure like all the devices are interoperable and can communicate correctly with the same standard messages and the same structure. Yeah, and that's it, I think, on our side.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Lidos. Up next is Noblis, Ethan or James. If you're ready, please turn on your camera.
Hi, I'm Ethan. I'll get started. Ethan Kurula. So Noblis has two demonstrations. They're not test stations, they are demonstrations. We will showcase misbehavior dashboard and ASN.1 schema simplification. Next slide, please. Let me give some background information to be clear what we are demonstrating. There are two types of misbehaviors, accidental and malicious. Accidentals are mostly due to sensor issues such as bad GPS or GPS coverage issues. Malicious misbehavior is someone is intentionally trying to mess with the system. So for example, someone is trying to hack into the system. Then that's malicious misbehavior. Malicious misbehavior is covered by the standard, specifically J3287. And this part will be demonstrated by Leidos. Noblis demonstration will focus on the accidental misbehavior. We have developed a dashboard. It's important to identify and correct these misbehaviors because they can be safety impacting. Next slide, please. On the left side, we have the dashboard. It's the screen capture of the dashboard. We can filter based on devices shown by the green bars. So they are clickable and interactive. Similarly, on the pie chart also, we can click and focus on a specific misbehavior. And the bottom, we have the misbehavior occurrences on a map. We are using Tamba CV pilot data. It's about 25 GB records. We can click on these dots and get a replay of the event 5 seconds before and 5 seconds afterwards, so we know exactly what happened. On the right side, we show what's the corrective measures taken. Based on the report, a human operator can either reach a CMS to revoke the certificate, or in some cases, sometimes the law enforcement need to be involved. Next slide, please. Our dashboard shows the 9 misbehaviors we have so far implemented on the left side. On the right side, we have 26 misbehaviors identified, and that will be implemented in the future. Some of them requires machine learning, so that takes some time. Yeah, I will hand over to my coworker.
Yeah, thank you, Ipan. Yeah, so this is another part that we'll be demonstrating. This was something that was developed alongside of our work with the misbehavior detection report, standard SAE J3287. One of the challenges we ran into is trying to work with an open source ASN1 compiler that was the ones that we were able to identify could not support parameterization and some other modern formats in ASN.1. To be able to use SAE J3287 with an open source ASN1 compiler, we had to manually remove the parameterization. This was a fairly long process. To help future researchers, we've developed an automated tool that we'll be giving a demonstration of that can remove the parameterization from and allow open source ASN1 compilers to generate code for encoding and decoding SAE standards. Our process, we have a demonstration we'll go through this. It removes parameterized definitions and templates. Parameterized instantiations are then expanded in line, substituting in the arguments for what was in the definition. Also, references to information object class type fields are substituted for the field type, so that it's able to work with the open source compiler. And then imports of the parameterized types are removed so that you do not have an error trying to import types that no longer exist. These results, this have already been tested out, and the results have been integrated with the ITS JPO misbehavior detection open source algorithms that we have produced as well. Next slide, please. And I think, yeah, so this is supposed to be video. Unfortunately, I think we had technical difficulty that the video wasn't able to be shared. But what it is just walking through the code is just a fairly small file. It will also be making open source and available through the ITS JPO Code Hub. It will, and then showing how we'll be able to run through with the J3287. So we'll do a full demonstration of it, obviously, on the day. That's everything that I had. Thanks.
Good. Thank you, Noblis. All right, up next is NIST. Eugene or Tom, please go ahead.
Thanks, Shaquille. Hey, everybody. My name's Tom Roth. I'm from the National Institute of Standards and Technologies. We are a federal non-regulatory agency that is also serving as the National Metrology Institute for the United States. While we are somewhat new to the realm of vehicle-to-everything communications, been around for about 2 or 3 years now, we have a history of doing interoperability testing in smart grid for the last 10 years. So a lot of the techniques we have from our smart grid interoperability testing program is coming over with us to VDAX. What you see on the screen here is our current perspective of how interoperability is layered into different areas that have different concerns that you have to address, whether it's the physical, the syntactic, or the semantic layer. A lot of what we're going to be demonstrating at this particular Plugfest is on the syntactic side, which is conformance to the different message standards that exist for V2X messages. But our longer term goal at NIST is to start dipping into this thing that we're calling semantic interoperability, that I've heard other people call application interoperability or system interoperability, where you look at 2 devices actually doing round-to-round trips to use the information for some application's purpose. So if you see people walking around the test floors asking you about semantic interoperability or trying to get a perspective on what your definition of semantic interoperability is, that's us. We're just trying to learn more about the space so we can position ourselves for future years of testing. With that intro, I'll hand it over to our technical expert, Eugene, to talk about what we'll be doing at this Plugfest, and you can go to the next slide.
Thank you, Tom. So again, my name is Eugene Song. I'm an electronic engineer at NIST. So this diagram shows the NIST interoperability testing setup here. You can see in the left side is like NIST testing tool, connect to the device and the test from different vendor A and B. In the right side, we use like a sniffer to try to listen to capture the packet. Same thing in left side, we also use the testing tool to capture the V2X like a network communication packet. So there's like a device-to-device testing method, like one-to-one device testing. Also, we can do multiple device testing. Maybe next slide, please. So you can see this diagram shows the multiple V2X device communicating together. So we use the same like testing tool in left side, sniffer right side to try to capture all the V2X communication packet from all the device. So the testing data set will be collected real time. Then we can save to the file. So later on for the interoperability assessment. So you can see the main testing here, we're testing like interoperability between different V2X device from different vendors. So that's a real like interoperability testing device from different vendors. So yeah, I think this is more like a generic setup here. So welcome any vendor bringing your device to NIST testing station to do the interoperability testing. So that's all from NIST. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let me open my camera. So next up is Keysight. So for Keysight, I will be doing about 3 slides, and then Niels is going to come up and he's going to present a couple of slides as well. So I will be talking about Keysight's CA8722A test system. And on this slide, you can see that Keysight offers a software in the loop, hardware in the loop, and road testing solutions. The simulation software for V2X testing from Keysight can be installed on a laptop for virtual testing. I will talk about the hardware in the loop on the next slides, and then Neil will talk about the field testing using the WaveB products. So on this screen, you can see Keysight's bench test solution for CV2X. This system can test both RF layer as well as protocol layer CV2X test cases. For RF test cases, they are related to the standard J36521, and the protocol layer test cases are related to J3161, 160902, 160903, J2735, and J2945. The bigger instrument in the screen in this slide is called UXM5G. This device is capable of generating 3G, 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, and V2X signals. And the small instrument sitting on top is called an MXG, and it is a GNSS simulator. With this device, with MXG, we can generate a GNSS signal without the need for an open sky. So on the right-hand side, we can see that the graphical user interfaces for all the testing applications. So Keysight's this bench test system is a OmniAir qualified test equipment, and it has been used for almost all the Plugfests for bench testing. It's also used by multiple test labs for OmniAir certifications. And here you can see the OmniAir granted certificates. I mean, that's it from my side. Niels, you want to talk about the next couple of slides?
Yeah, hello everyone. This is Niels Lichtblau from Keysight. So I'm an R&D manager and I'm responsible for the WaveB products. So I will bring 3 products to the Plugfest in Maryland. The first one is our well-known WaveB Touch sniffing tool. So this can analyze and show messages that are around you in the air. This can show you the available messages, so PSM, MAP, PSM, WSA, and so on and so on. The next device is the next generation of this one. This is the first time we are showing this to the open market. This is our new touch tablet, so a new hardware, but also a new preview of a new software version. Currently, since this is a preview only, there are message types available, but only a part of it. So BSM, MAP, and also the tolling messages, TAM, TOM, and TOMAC. And I will bring WaveP Plus as an V2X development platform. This device will be there as an, and it will transmit some demo scenarios for BSM, TAM, SPAT that we can show something on touch, or maybe also others can try to receive these messages. So next slide, please. So as I said, I will bring the new WaveP Touch tablet. This is the first time that we are showing the tablet and also the new software. This is in a very early stage, but here are some screenshots with a complete new design. It's a complete new design with UI and UX optimized now. We included the tolling messages, TAM, TOM, and TOMAC. And now the new hardware has an option to use an external antenna, so a roof antenna for a car, for example, but it still has the internal antenna where you can switch between internal and external. So, and the new option is also to remote access via web browser to this PC to show the screen in big on your PC if you like to analyze it a little bit more in detail. So this is a new features, new software that I will present in a demo station, in a presentation, and also maybe some hands-on sessions if someone would like to try it. Yeah, that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Niels. Up next is DEKRA. So Mario, if you could come online and you can present your slides.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mario Dominguez. I'm test engineer and project manager at DEKRA. Today, we would like to present our capabilities for the OmniAir Plugfest, where we will offer in CV2X testing and validation services. Our goal during this event is to support participants to verifying interoperability, compliance, and performance for their devices. So at DEKRA, we are a test laboratory. We provide a comprehensive portfolio of V2X testing services, including LTE V2X, DSRC, field application testing, and security validation. A key differentiator is that DEKRA is the only OmniAir certified laboratory accredited for all OmniAir certification program covering V2X and tolling. This allows us to support customers for the entire life cycle of their product, from the early validation to the official certification with a single trusted partner. During the Plugfest, this translates into a fast issue identification and also a clear guidance for compliance. Next, please. Okay, so for RF and protocol conformance testing, we will be using the Keysight CV2X test solution, which support the execution for OmniAir test cases as listed in the slide. This is the test system that Shaquille mentioned previously. So we will be able to perform the RF performance testing and also protocol covering 1609.2, 1609.3, and also standard like J2945 and J3161. It is important to highlight that this system is shared with Keysight, so we will have also their support in testing. This allows us to provide the manufacturer high-quality testing capabilities and also expert assistance during all the event. Next, please. And in addition, with the Keysight test system, we will be also providing support for different test standards from OmniAir. From one side, we have the Saesol Test S2X tester that allows us to validate the end-to-end scenarios specified in the 1609.2.1. At the same time, we bring our own internal test setup. This setup enables us to validate end-to-end V2X scenarios covering map and SPAT message generation and validation, RSU behavior and interactions, security and SMCS related testing, and network management via SMP. With this setup, we can simulate real-world V2X scenarios and verify how different devices interact with each other in multiple vendor environments. In summary, DEKRA will provide full support during the Plugfest to validate, debug, and prepare your devices for OmniAir certification. So please, during the event, feel free to reach out to us, and we can run the test that you need or discuss any specific issue that you have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mario. I think that was your last slide. So up next is OmniTrust, Mr. Brian Romansky. The floor is yours.
Thank you. So first, just an orientation. So if OmniTrust does not sound familiar to you, this brand carries forward the legacy of the company formerly known as Integrity Security Services, a longtime supporter of OmniAir and the Plugfest, a board member at OmniAir, and all that continues through this Plugfest and into the future. As with virtually every previous Plugfest, we are going to have our SCMS technical experts there. So you'll have access to those experts if you have any issues with enrollment or anything related to certificate lifecycle for a device or a system that you have in the field or developing. We support both the 1609.2.1 and the legacy camp enrollment and certificate lifecycle services. We have continued, or we have in the past, supported SCMS interoperability testing. We will do that again. So our test certificates are on the SCMS Manager Test CTL, along with all of the other SCMS providers that participate in Plugfest. So if you want to do interoperability testing, check in with us. We can help you walk through the process of enrolling devices in different SCMS vendors, making sure that everything flows correctly, that your device can validate certificates from other vendors, even if that's not where you're registered. Another thing that we've done at previous Plugfest, but we'll continue to do here, identity certificates has been part of the V2X standard for a long time, but has only recently gotten some more attention and adoption. So devices sometimes have challenges, setting up identity certs. I think one of the things that we'll be showing at this Plugfest is devices that are capable of having both pseudonym certificates and identity certificates and the ability to switch back and forth. Our SCMS certainly supports that. So if your device can handle that, that's something we would love to work with you to show. We can also set up any kind of a custom PSID SSP combination. We see a lot of special use cases where people would like to use unusual PSID SSP combos for a special deployment. So if that's something that you want to test on your device to prove that you can perform with any unusual combinations, we can help you with that. That includes bitmap SSPs. There's a few devices that have challenges with bitmap versus the more traditional opaque SSP values. Bitmap SSPs are a little bit more tricky. We do support that and can help you work through that if that's an issue for you. Another emerging technology is certificates with the Operating Organization Identifier, or OPORG ID. We'll be able to issue bundles of certificates with an OPORG ID populated. We would recommend that if this is something that your device supports, we should test that out, make sure that the end-to-end process works. If you're not familiar with OPORG ID, do check in with us. We can give you a background of what that is, how it works, how it can enable much more flexible priority preemption and other features. And of course, building on what some of the other test stations have mentioned, misbehavior processing, we, along with other SCMS providers, will be supporting misbehavior processing. So as the Noblis team and the Stoll Lab team, they have tools that will be able to generate some interesting types of misbehaviors. If a device receives those, it's expected to deliver a misbehavior report. Our system can receive and validate those reports, and we'll have a team standing by so that we can validate that the message or that the content that we retrieved from the misbehavior report is actually the correct information So showing that the end-to-end process works. And then we'll also be demonstrating and have access to our National Mobility Interchange. This is a hosted service that routes V2X messages using the exact same J2735 and the 1609.2 certificate method that's used over the air. If anybody wants to test interoperability, we've demonstrated this before that you can have seamless interoperability between direct and network V2X. We'd love to work with vendors to show that implementation, to show how seamless and flexible that can be. We'll have a couple of demos there with custom work zones and real-time updates, how information can change dynamically. And then also, if you want to validate that your device can work with any kind of an interesting TIM message, beyond, say, basic work zones, we do have tooling that can generate a wide variety of interesting, all standards compliant and following the best practices, but maybe the less common forms of TIM messages we'll have available. So all of this is possible. Please do check in with us. We don't have like a formal test script that we run through. It's kind of you tell us what you want to test, what you want to explore, and we can support any of these capabilities. So happy to work with you on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brian. So up next is Saesol Tech. Saesol Tech could not be here for a live presentation. Randy was gracious
They're
enough
here.
to.
They're here.
Oh, they're here?
Yeah, if we can have
Oh,
Woody join us on screen,
oh,
that'd be
okay.
great.
Hi.
Woody's here.
That's good. Okay, I thought Randy's gonna do it. Okay, Woody. So I have your slides here, so you can start whenever you're ready.
Yes. Hi, I'm Woody from Saesol Tech. We are providing the security certificate. It's using for the devices which can sign message with this certificate. We can provide the camp legacy camp bundle or IEEE 1609.2.1 standard. And we also provide the conformance test, latest IEEE 1609.2.1 conformance test specification. Its name 764B test cases. There's three mandatory test cases for each OBU and RSU, and one optional test cases. Next slide. And also we are if there are just some test devices vendor who can testing the capability of reporting misbehavior based on the SAE 3287. So we can show and validate their misbehavior reporting from that device. So if you can visit our booth, we can test your devices. We also support the LiDOS MBR testing. So we, but there's some limitation. We can validate only the misbehavior reporting, which is signed by Saesol Tech or OmniTrust certificate. So yeah. Okay. This is our OmniAir qualified test equipment. A few months ago, yeah, it's a 1609.2.1 testing tool. So yeah, yes, yeah, we can test the DOT is compatible with the IEEE 1609.2.1, and we verify the DOT using the message which is assigned by the just provisioned certificate. So we we verify the message using our proxy devices, and yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Woody, for sharing your thoughts on your slides. The next up is TTA. TTA could not be here due to the time difference. I will play a recording, but I think we may have an issue with the sound.
Hello everyone, my name is PK Kang from TT, the Telecommunications Technology Association of Korea. Before I begin, please allow me to apologize for not joining this session live because the briefing is scheduled at around 2 o'clock in the morning Korea time. It is unfortunately difficult for me to attend in real time, so I have prepared this short video in advance and I sincerely appreciate your understanding. Thank you for joining this pre-event briefing for the OmniAir Maryland Plugfest. In this short session, I would like to introduce the test services that DTL will provide at the Plugfest and walk you through what participating vendors should prepare in advance so that everyone can use our test station smoothly. The presentation will take about 5 minutes. Let's start with the TTA test station. As shown on this slide, TTA will operate a dedicated test station covering 4 standards: IEEE 1609.2, 1609.3, SHA 2945/1, and NTSHIP 1218. For these tests, we will use the VIV test system formerly known as Python, which is a well-established platform widely used for VTX certification testing. For NTSHIP 1218, which is the SNMP-based RSU management standard, we will use a custom test system developed in-house by TTA. Looking at the architecture, the test system communicate with the device under test through two main interfaces. On the wireless side, the ATVTX link operates on channel 183, which is 5915 MHz, which is 20 MHz bandwidth. Over this PC5 interface, the DUT exchanges VTX messages such as PSM and WSA secured by .2 and carried over WSM. A GNSS module on each side provides timing synchronization. On the wired side, the test system connects to the DUT through Ethernet, and two main protocols run over this link. The first is TCI version 3, which controls the test scenarios for the test. The second is SNMP version 3, which SNMP set, get, and trap operations, which is used for NTSHIP 1218 testing. Now let's move on to what vendors should prepare. There are three areas: hardware preparation, duty configuration, and the test procedure. First, hardware preparation. The VTX antenna must be used in over-the-air mode. We don't use conductive cable connection at the Plugfest. For GNSS, each vendor should bring their own GNSS antenna and make sure the DUT can synchronize with the live GNSS signal. For power, please prepare a 120 volt to 12 volt adapter or a PoE adapter if your device supports it. And for the Ethernet interface, please make sure your DUT can be connected to our Ethernet switch because both TCI and SNV version 3 message go through this link. Second, duty configuration. Vendor must install valid certification on the duty or pseudonym certificate for OBUs and application certificate for RCUs. The TCI application must support TCI version 3 only. Earlier versions are not supported. We also recommend that you prepare a basic transmit and receive application so we can quickly verify connectivity with our proxy before starting the formal test. Good examples are the Qualcomm ACME tool or the Autotox Season tool. Third, the test procedure. When you arrive at the test station, we will first check the GNS has a 3D pics and the Civitex demo is enabled. For Qualcomm chipsets, you can use the Civitex get status command. For Autotox, you can run CGen with the time sync state. After that, we will verify connectivity with the proxy, and once everything is confirmed, we will run the actual test use either TCI or SNMP depending on the standard. If you have any questions before the event, please contact me directly at bk@dta.or.kr. That concludes today's briefing. We are very much looking forward to meeting all of you in Maryland, and we hope you have a successful Plugfest experience with the test station. Thank you for your attention.
And that is it. Thank you very much for participating in the overview. Back to you, Brukenda, for closing remarks.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. If you can turn yours off, or I can actually stop yours. Let's grab a couple things here. 1 second. Okay. Thank you all again for joining us today. That was a lot of information. I think that it's great for you all to hear that from each other, just so we all kind of know what to expect for this coming week, or I guess 9 days from now. But then also for the public and people coming to visit us at the workshop. It's just great information. So again, thank you all for joining us. I know some of you, it's the middle of the night, and we appreciate you for being here. So let me just show you my screen here. Got a couple things I want to share with you. So again, if you guys need that link, it's in the chat. Oh, it's on auto. That's very strange. It's in the chat. So that workshop ticket, those are still available on there. We would love to close that out by Friday, just because we need to do head counts and food and all the things that we love to have for you and have ready to go. So go ahead and get that signed up today or this week if you can. Wanted to just let you know in a few minutes, about 10 minutes, we have our new working group. They've met one time. It's our V2X tolling working group. We have Pooja, who is the lead. She's from H&TB. A lot of information and a lot of good things are shared in this group, as you can see here on the screen. So if you'd like to join that, if you'd like to join in general and you're a member, go ahead and click that QR code on there. We'll get you signed up. If you want to join today and you're not signed up, please text me.